It's only a pain because of the stupid word system. In fairness, it kind of needs the word system because all that would happen is you'd find people just jumping straight to like specific tiered gear, and there has to be some form of progression. So I can understand it. Like, it's not the most intuitive system, but like there has to be a system of some kind just for the way that they've got it sort of set out. Oh, that long range is nice. Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you've got a pink car, right, it's going to increase your range by a maximum of 25% when you're at full tentacliness, based on that image. So your 100-foot spells are 125 feet. Your changing spells go out to 81 feet. And if you've got Bolt of Change, it's 180 feet, I want to say off the top of my head. So you get a lot of really good long range stuff. And like Havoc's a really fun spec, sort of mid 30s into your early 40s in terms of like renown rank and stuff. In around like the level 20 range, I always find like changing spec was best, because if you've got a Flamer of Zinchount, one of its sort of abilities is you can now cast all of your changing spells on the move. So the likes of your Rend Winds, you can spam that on the move, so you can kite people round. And like Rend Winds is a very powerful ability, especially if you're fighting a caster or something like a witch hunter or something like that, just because it's quick and it hits quite well. I never did any dungeons, and forcing people to PvE is not a good system. Yeah, no, that's fair. Like, but at the same point, you don't have to PvE if you don't want to. So like, there's a whole bunch of my characters have never set foot into the PvE zones at all. They've just done everything in open RVR and scenarios. Whereas there's others, like my Disciple of Cain, this guy even did PQs, quests, all of that stuff. Although this guy, I don't think he ever had any of the PvE gear. I think people would still do Gunbad for the jewelry items and stuff, because they still seem quite popular. I think Anonymous had said the other night that there's like weapons that you get from Gunbad as well, so they'd maybe be something that would still see people going there for it. The only part of the PvE side of things that I don't like is there's no way for you to get the Onslaught gear other than doing Chapter 22 with a warband. And I want the Chapter 22 Onslaught gear for my Blackguard because of the look, because it's the old Dark Promise look. And I can't get a warband to go and do it, so I'll never get that gear because there's no other way to get it, which is why I'd asked the question on Toth Monra's podcast on Saturday of, is there ever going to be a way for you to get the appearance item of something that you can't realistically otherwise get? And their answer was no, but they are working on appearance stuff anyway, so that's something. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, you should go to Toth Monra's YouTube channel or his Twitch page and watch the podcast, because it's very interesting to listen to what the devs are talking about, because it gives you an idea of what they see the future of the game as. I have Invader set in my bank of my White Lion that he'll never put on other than to get the ward. Yeah, well, that's kind of the same with this guy. Is like, I'm getting the Invader set just to get the ward, because I don't want to get Victorious or Triumphant, because I would have to go and do ranked PvP, or sorry, ranked scenarios. I don't particularly want to go and do the PvE side of things. So I just kind of have to get Invader. But again, it's one of those, there kind of has to be some sort of progression, one way or the other. I need 4 Bloodlord for my healer. I hope you can get it, bud. Damn it, Hon. Whoosh. Just about. That was you? That was a good question. Yep, that was me. That's the thing. It's just like, I don't... Like, I understand why they have the system at the minute. But, like, it would be a good way for the ward system to mean something other than you just need the ward system to get the next gear tier. Because at the end of the day, like, if somebody gets, say, I don't know, say for example, Vanquisher. So say somebody goes and gets Sentinel, and they want to get the Oppressor or Vanquisher, like, for sake of argument. The whole reason that they've gone and got the PvE set is because they don't want to waste the crests on Vanquisher and Oppressor. So they're never going to have that look of gear, because realistically the only time they're going to have crests to spare is once they have Sovereign. And once they have Sovereign, they're not going to want that look. Unless they're particularly hung up on that look. Now, the other thing is, you're going to end up in a situation in this game, the same as you do in most games, where you have a gold surplus, and it starts to affect the economy. So, if you want to introduce some way of bleeding away people's gold and making gold mean something, along with making the ward system mean something other than you just need this to get the next tier, you could introduce a system whereby if you have the Vanquisher ward from, say, getting Sentinel, you could then buy the appearance of Vanquisher or Oppressor with gold, and you could have the look that you're looking for. But you could only do it if you had the ward for that level, so you've had to play whatever part of the game it is that is required for that level to achieve it. Now, their take on it was, well, yeah, but we want people to still do other parts and not bypass it, which is fair enough to a degree. But at the same point, once you have that ward level, who is ever going to go back and do any of those other activities again? Right? If you have, say, for example, Vanquisher gear, and you're working towards, say, Invader, are you ever going to go back and do Balrog Burrows just to get Sentinel? I don't think you will. Like, that part of the game's over for you in that character. In my eyes, it is anyway. Other people might be different, of course, which is always something you have to take into consideration. I'm sorry, guys. I am not keeping up to date with chat at all. Gunpowder weapons tend to be good. Yeah, I've heard they're good. At least you're getting value from it, though. Yeah, true, true. Sentinel ring, yeah. That's the thing. It's like there's lots of those different gear pieces have set bonuses or particular stats on them that people will want, but it was just, I think it's more a case just my frustration that I want the Onslaught gear for my Blackguard. And it's the only place where that appearance is, and I only want it for nostalgia. Like, I don't want it for any other reason. It's the same. I want Tyrant gear for this guy, simply for the fact that I had Tyrant gear for this guy on live. But of course you can't get it because Tomb of the Vulture Lord's not in the game yet, and I can tell you now from having ran Tomb of the Vulture Lord on live, I don't ever want to do Tomb of the Vulture Lord again. Like, it was a fun instance, but no. I just don't want to.